Good morning, YouTube. I hope all is well in your part of the world, wherever that part is. In my part of the world right now, I'm in the United States in Florida, 2:30 in the morning. My apartment is locked and privacy, wee hours of the morning. So, this is my time to make videos for you guys, and we can talk about some stuff. So, in this video, as you can see, the title is Ich bin Deutschlerner, and I'm a German learner. So I'll be taking you through the steps of how that started and what my thoughts are for the future, what I'm hoping to get out of it. It's still an ongoing process, 2 years later. All right, so los geht's. Let's go. That's German. I was inspired to learn German after finding a Bravo magazine article, the German fan magazine back in the early 80s, on the Scorpions official Facebook page. The Throwback Thursday post, and I took the liberty of printing it out. So I gotta get used to the camera. I'm backwards here. So this was the article, and it was not this big when they posted it on Facebook. It was much smaller. You could not read any of the text here in the yellow. The only thing that I could see was the title of it, Die Stimme der Scorpions. And then the other red part, the subtitle over here, is also in German, as well as the text. In between, there's some really cool photos. And for some reason, it never occurred to me that I knew. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I knew they were a German band. I knew everybody knew that, and I knew they sing songs in English. So I didn't really think that I would have a need to learn German or a want to learn German until I found this article. I said, "Oh, okay. I want to know what this article says. How do I do that? Take lessons. Lessons in German. That's what I need. Oh, wow." So it started out very simply for that reason. And I was also finding things on YouTube, interviews that they did in German, press things, and they did a lot of captions in German on the Facebook page with no English captions, gentlemen. Caption. Sometimes they put English in the German captions, then they do the English translations right along with it, but not always. Must do that. I wish I could speak to them about that, but I can't. So that's why I said to myself, you got to learn you some German. So how do I do that? Oh, and by the way, this article became one of my earliest translation projects as a new German student. I'll explain more about that in a minute. No, I won't. I'll just say it right now. I had to open this image up in Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, on my MacBook. Blow it up, so big enough so that I could read the text. I wanted to do the red headings, the title of it, and the subtitle over here, where all this says. Now the problem with that was, by the time I blew it up so it was legible, it wasn't really legible because then the resolution of the image changed and it was blurry and kind of cattywampus, but it was just legible enough that I could squint. And so I did Google Translate. Yeah, it was a project, but I finally got it done. And now on my MacBook somewhere, there is a English translation of this article, according to Google Translate, as best as I can make it out. There was that. Now I'll put this face down. That's what started it, was that article. Put my cheat sheet over there. So to get my lesson started, I went to Google and I just did a search for free German lessons. Google search. And then they'll bring up all kinds of articles about different German learning programs for free, and then they have articles called the top 10 most popular free apps for learning a language. So I went for stuff like that. I looked at everything. I looked at Babbel.com, Rosetta Stone, Berlitz International, the big name lesson places. And they all charge fees that I can't afford right now, so I'm going for strictly free. And the one that kept coming up again and again and again was Duolingo.com. The little green owl is its mascot. The other one that kept coming up was Babbel.com. And they offered a free 1-week trial of their program. But after that, it's a monthly charge or a per year charge or whatever it is. Fine, a free trial, I'm in. So, I knew it was going to be Duolingo for sure because it was completely free of charge. You do lessons to your heart's content, not a penny. Great. So I did the 1-week trial of Babbel, and I started, as next show and tell, I started a notebook, a spiral bound notebook. And I'm not going to go through this and read all the pages, but I do this to this day with my German learning. The date ranges for the notes that I made are up top, and then custom artwork, and then Babbel. This is the first notebook, number 1. And then Babbel free trial and start of Duolingo. I started, let me go through it. Babbel 1, so I just started going through the lessons in Babbel, started writing things down. And then these are the days of the week and so on and so forth. I got to the end of Babbel. I'll show you this part here. It's so neat to go back through all this 2 years later and go, damn, I was new and shiny. Wow. Google Translate. Okay. Here's some Google Translate notes. Vocabulary words mostly. Okay, here's Duolingo. Duolingo starts right about there. The end of the 1-week trial. Light bag, far away. I am University. It's so cool. And it runs to the end of the notebook. They always do. I leave a couple pages in the back, but whatever. That's the first notebook. Once I established my working routine of doing these lessons, then it became fun. Okay. So, once I got into Duolingo, however, I quickly realized, and I might do a separate video about just Duolingo showing you me actually doing lessons, like a camera angle over my shoulder or something. I haven't worked that out yet. For right now, I'll just describe how I use Duolingo and other sources of teaching, because you have to. Duolingo only gives you, I see it, looking at my notes. Don't look at your notes. Stay focused. I do these little talking point notes, and it's quite frustrating because I just like to talk. Can't do that yet. Gotta find a talking buddy in real life first. I experimented with various German tutoring channels on YouTube, and anything with a free trial was obviously good. Now, most of the German YouTubers that teach German, they have their free videos that you can do again to your heart's content, not a dime of fee. But then they also have these paying academies, these full programs. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever it is. And they charge their own fees. They're freelancers. They're independent contractors. So if you find one that you like personality-wise, teaching style-wise, then see how far you get with the free videos. And then you might want to go to their paid academies. And they're always pimping them out. They're always advertising them. There are no slouches in the self-promotion department. I'll give them that much. But so I searched maybe 4 or 5, my top 5. I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking for German YouTubers. I did find my favorites, though. One of my first favorites was, oh shoot, I wasn't planning on doing this. No notes. I'll link them in the comments below. Let's put it that way. So then I purchased a German to English dictionary and verb book. This is my dictionary. A teeny tiny guy, but half of it's German to English, half of it's English to German. I spend most of my time on the German to English side. Every now and then I'll go back to the English section to start out with. This is invaluable though, because if you do Google Translate, it only gives you one word. You have to live with whatever word it gives you. But this has more variety. Even Duolingo, when it gives you a vocabulary word, get yourself one of these and look that up. You'll thank me later. So then the German verb book, I got this one. I picked it online, just bought it on, I think, eBay or Walmart.com or something. But I had a verb book in college for Spanish, had the similar kind of cover, so I thought, okay, that's cool. And it gives you the infinitive up here in the corner, and then all the different verb conjugations and different tenses for each verb. It does not give you English translations for each sentence. It just, ich bin, du bist, sie, ist. It gives you just the pronouns and the conjugations. And even the verb tenses are in German, so that makes it even more fun. Yeah, so I'm used to it by now, but whatever. I'm sure there's a student-friendly version of a verb book. I just haven't found it yet. Anyway, then also with Duolingo, any type of self-led, self-taught program you cobble together at home, you're going to be collecting charts. I didn't print one of those out either, but that's okay. You go on google.com and you search for grammar concepts, vocabulary memes, anything to supplement the learning. Duolingo, like I said, they give you pre-constructed sentences and new vocabulary words. That's it. And then what is that? You go offline, you'll go take a step away from the lesson. You go into google.com and you look it up, and then you'll get charts up the wazoo. There are just a million of them. Any conceivable subject, design, layout, there are a million of them. Then you have to search for the ones that make the most sense for you, that's what I do. I don't do it anymore. Now I've kind of gotten the hang of things, but in the beginning, Duolingo will raise more questions than answers. You'll spend a good deal of probably more time outside of Duolingo doing this outside research and resource gathering than you will. But then when you get done, you'll have quite the collection of charts, all these extracurricular materials, shall we say. Okay, flipping to the next page of my notes. Another invaluable, in fact, I rely on it to this day, almost 100%, is a good online translator. I use Google Translate on the MacBook, which is just Google Chrome web browser. Or any web browser will have one. Just do online translator. And it lets you choose the languages to and from and back and forth. And then Translate Now is on my iPhone. That's an app. It's free, again. And from there you can learn, you can type in the word and get the definition in your native language. But it also gives you a little microphone icon where you can listen to it being pronounced. And that is huge, because if you're like me and you don't have a native German speaker handy at all times to teach you things, then that's how you learn. And I find that the Google Translate pronunciation is way better than the one on my phone. The one on my phone kind of sounds robotic and can't really understand what she's saying. Go to Google Translate, it's crisp and clear, and you can play it as many times as you want. And so you listen to, and then also listening to, pull up any German speaking, whatever, like I was talking about the Scorpions. Just pull up native speech, fast as all hell. Yes, it's going to sound like that at first, but you need to get used to the way it sounds. And once I would not advise this if it was not true, but as the more you're exposed to the German language as it's spoken by native speakers, you'll come to understand and get familiar with and comfortable with, maybe even enjoy. I enjoy it now. The way it sounds, the speech, the patterns, the emphasis, the syllables. I think it's a beautiful language. I really do. And now I listen to it for not fluent understanding. I'm years away from that yet. What are the 5 words out of this whole damn thing that I understand? I listen. Just don't worry about, I don't know what they're saying. Don't worry about that. Just listen to the way they talk, the way it sounds, and just used to the rhythm of it. It's got a rhythm to it. I find quite lovely. That's just me. Because eventually you will get to the point where you're ready to start speaking on your own. Now, you won't speak like the native speakers do. That's not the point. To learn how, like I said, accents and pronunciations and emphasis, the best way to learn that on your own is Google Translate. Now, if you have money for a tutor, then disregard everything I'm about to tell you in this video. But not necessarily. The tutors will give you their own Hausaufgaben, meaning homework. They'll give you their own skill exercises to do so. I'm 100% on my own. Okay, other miscellaneous YouTube videos and reels for, oh yes. In addition to learning the language, you'll also want to learn about the culture of the country, history, people, anything. It's not just language is a living, breathing thing spoken by people that live in that country, and it's deeply rooted in the culture of the country. This is where YouTube really comes in handy, because you can find all kinds of videos on German lifestyle, culture, history, and yes, humor. Germans do have a sense of humor. Kid you not, I swear to God they do. Now it is distinctly their own, but it's there. You just have to get to know it. That's all I'm saying. And I also found my favorite German YouTubers, not for language education, but for the other things, history, culture, and it's humor. Again, German sense of humor. Well, anything that I do as a student learner has to be deeply rooted in humor. You have to make me laugh, otherwise you're going to lose me. And I also have my favorite funny German YouTube content creators that they post these things, these videos and reels and shorts that are hysterical. They're being satirical, but then there's also a fair amount of truth to it. And I've learned more, and then you also learn language in the process, but I've learned more about German culture and lifestyle from them alone. And they present it with humor. So I respond to it very, very easily. I'll link those down in the comments as well. My favorite people that I found. Another thing is I share what I learn as I go along on my Facebook page. I'm teaching as I learn. I'm turning around and teaching others. I have a whole series of posts, fun with German vocab, fun with German lifestyle. Anything I pick up on YouTube, I share it right away. That kind of reinforces it in my mind as well. Okay, now the $54,000 question. Is learning German making me a happier Scorpions fan? And my note said, yes. And it was awkward going at first. Now I'm doing this video 2 years into the process. Not quite shy of 2 years, about June. Oh, it is June. Okay, July. I'm looking at my notebook over here. July 18th. Okay, so 1 month. Yeah, 2 years. Almost my anniversary. But for the first 6 months, and I started out with great intentions. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to learn all these interviews. What are they saying? Blah, blah, blah. And then the reality of learning German kind of snuck up on me, and I realized, oh, what have I gotten myself into? And then the self-doubt started to creep in, and oh my God, what have I done? This is too much. I don't really need to know what those interviews say. Nah, forget it. Not necessary. And I started to doubt my own intelligence level. And I would remind I earned a B in algebra, an A in statistics in college. I can do this. I've got the brand. I'm tapping on the counters. I can do this. I know I can. I can't. I thought I've met my match now. This is a formidable intellectual challenge that I'm destined to lose at this point. And I would watch, again, the same German language where they were doing press in German and interviews and things like that. And what are they saying? I don't understand. I just can't cram the information into my head fast enough. And I was really, really frustrated at that point. And after I did that first Klaus Meine article about destemmed scorpions, that was easy. But then after I kept going after that, and I found more stuff. And the more stuff I found, the more, oh my God. Why am I torturing myself like this? Just skip it, Kim. Go on. No. I made a commitment to myself. I'm going to do this. I'm going to see this through. Looking at the watch, it's not, well, this may take a while, but I'm in it to win it, so. Then I decided, I made this meme because, thank God they speak English, to remind myself that this really is not absolutely necessary. You know, I don't have to learn German to understand. They sing in English, you're fine. But I didn't want to leave it at that because I knew I was losing out. I was missing out on a lot of stuff that I knew was going to make me a happier, more well-rounded fan. I'd have the full fan experience. This is a challenge I've never really had before as a fan. All my favorite bands up until now have been American. English is their native language. This is my first German band. Thank you very much. And no, we're not going to mention that other German band. The one that starts with the R. We're not saying that name. Toy Toy. I know about them. We're not saying it. I got my scorps. I'm happy now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't put this on the wall above my desk. I have my desk over there on the other side of the room. My map of Germany, and I didn't put this up there, though. I could have, I suppose, but I will. Get there. And as a matter of fact, when I did my... rammed my knee. Ow, son of a bitch. Ich bin nicht sehr klug. I am not very smart. When I learned the word klug, which is an adjective meaning smart, I was in tears like, ich bin sehr klug. I'm stupid. It really got bad. Oh, man. What have I done? Oh, yeah. Ich bin klug. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Now my confidence is way up, but now in the beginning, not so much. Whoa. And now, boy, was I glad that I stuck with it as long as I did. Because then I found Scorpion songs sung in German. Oh, yes, they most certainly did. The first one that I found was from their 1999 album, Eye to Eye. Ooh, reflecting off the monitor. That's always fun. Yeah, okay. Somewhere up in there like that. 1999 album, Eye to Eye. And I got this CD because it's no longer available anywhere else. But before that, I was going through the Scorpions website, official website, the-scorpions.com, link below. And I was looking through what was going to be my next album purchase in iTunes. So I just picked every album. The last one that I'd purchased was Love at First Sting. Then I went through, they have a discography section of the website where they talk about each album, all the songs on it, production credits, and so on and so forth. So I found the Du bist so schmutzig. I'm getting ahead of myself. Eye to Eye, 1999. Okay, open it up. Look through the track listing. There's like 10 or 12 songs on it. And I got down to this one that said, Du bist so schmutzig. And I saw schmutzig. I saw it as a German title. I'm like, oh, hello, okay. Was ist das? What's this, as we say? I must investigate this. So there's no player window on player section. You can read the lyrics, and that's about it. So I went on YouTube and I typed in Scorpions Du bist so schmutzig. I listened to it. Yes, they sing songs in English. Well, most of the time they do, but the couple times they didn't, and this is one of them. Ooh, 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 ooh. I liked it immediately. So I went on iTunes, and it's not available there, so I went and got the CD. And now they do have the lyrics on Scorpions.com to all these songs. But on the CD insert... Oh, yeah. Now, I don't know if they were still doing vinyl records at this point, but... I don't have my glasses on, so I'm probably not pulling up the right song here. They have the song lyrics printed. Yeah, that's good. So I had that. Cram that back in there somehow. Okay. So I had that one. So I set about learning that song. So I made a cheat sheet of the German lyrics from Scorpions.com, and then the album insert, the CD insert, when I got it, had the lyrics in it. I had the German lyrics, and then right under that was the English translation. And I put the German lyrics through Google Translate to learn how to pronounce them spoken, and then I could follow what Klaus, Meine was singing. Du hast him called the ice, a boldy air burnt. And I could follow him that way. I learned quickly, and that's also another teaching tidbit for a lot of German tutors will recommend that you listen to your favorite, find German translations of German songs, TV shows, novels, where you can, another way to hear the language being spoken and used in real life situations. Well, I didn't really have anything for Scorpions, or so I thought. But wait, it gets better. So right after Du bist so schmutzig, then I was going through the web, just doing a general Scorpion search, probably for photos of the band or whatever. And then I found an article from loudersound.com from 2013, 2015, fairly new article. And it was talking about how the British glam rock band The Sweet influenced the Scorpions, and they were on tour with them, and The Sweet had written a couple of songs called Action and Fox on the Run in English. They're a British band. And the Scorpions rewrote their own German lyrics to both of those songs, patterned after the two Sweet versions. They rewrote the English lyrics into German, and then it became this is the next show and tell item. And it became Fuchs gave a run, Fox on the Run. They branded themselves the Hunters. And that's the actual 45 side A and B. And the B side is Wenn es richtig losgeht. Now, I can't see the screen without my glasses on, but I have each A and B side represented here. This is on the other side is the back side of these. This is the 45 sleeve. This is the front cover. This is the back cover. A side, B side, or whatever order they go in. I found it on YouTube. And it's a good thing I did, because the version of the Fuchs gave a run was the one I found first. And it was a fan video. And it had the German lyrics and the English lyrics right next to each other on the same line. It was like a lyric video. And a picture of the Scorpions from the 80s in the background. I'm not entirely sure why, but whatever. So I was able to learn it that way. And that's the only way I was able to learn it, because now these songs, well, these 45s are collector's items, number one. Number two, it's very difficult. You could probably find the lyrics in German, not the English translations. What I need right now, above and beyond anything else in this stage of my learning journey, I have to have it in print. I have to have the German, whatever it is, in print. Otherwise, print to begin with, printed captions, printed whatever. Then I can kind of anchor myself and figure it out from there. But I can't rely on my just learning, hearing it. Not that good yet. But Fuchs gave a run when his richtig losgeht is the other side. But the article on Louder Sound did have the player windows. So, but that was just the player window. That was not the fan video that I was mentioning earlier. That's the only time I was able to get German lyrics and English lyrics next to one another. Mm-hmm. Three songs now in German that I found. Now, Fuchs gave a run. I sing it all the time. It's in my Scorpions iTunes playlist. And every time it comes up in the shuffle, I just start singing. It's got this intense keyboard start. Fuchsy. And then one of the lyrics, Fuchsy Fuchs, comes the Stauget in den Bau. Fuchsy is Foxy. I call him Fuchsy. He's my boy. Oh yeah, I'm a Fuchsy fangirl. I'm not ashamed of it. There he is. There's Fuchsy. Fuchsy will rip your head off. Anyway, never mind. Foxes in real life, don't fuck with him. Anyway. Next, now there's so many examples of the German goodies that I found online in the last 2 years. The ones that got me started versus... It was really hard to narrow down the list to just a couple for this video. But here's the next one that I found. On YouTube, there is a channel. It's a German television multimedia broadcasting, Deutsche Welle. And they do YouTube videos of a TV channel in Germany. And then we actually have in my local cable, there's a TV over there, we actually do have a local affiliate that airs Deutsche Welle in English. It's worldwide, all over the world, so my version of Deutsche Welle is in English. The closest I've got, I don't have actual German television for obvious reasons, but I can get a taste of it that way. It's culture and lifestyle and news. But on YouTube, they have a series called Euromaxx, DW Euromaxx, and those are different correspondents, different odds and ends, cultural stuff again. So then I found Fragebogen, DW Euromaxx Fragebogen with Matthias, the lead guitar player from the Scorpions, and Klaus, Meine, the lead guitarist. And they did these interviews, 2 separate interviews, 2 different times, like within a year or 2 of each other. So they asked him 7 questions in German. And so each video is like 2 minutes and then 3 minutes respectively. This is great. I can handle 3 minutes. The shorter the video, the better. 5 minutes or less, I can work with that. No problem. Get longer than 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I start to sweat a little bit. So, okay, but 2 or 3 minutes, I can knock that out quick. So I thought. These are my last printouts, and I'll show you here what I did. In order to fully appreciate only 3 minutes video, what could possibly go wrong, you might ask. So, here's a printout from Klaus Meine's DW Fragebogen. And what they did is, this is what the screen looked like. It had the German word down here, question mark. He's speaking in German. There are no subtitles at all. YouTube will do these auto-generated subtitles in German. No. I looked for those next, and this didn't have it, but 3 minutes, piece of cake, no problem. Traum, dream. The interviewer is asking him, what is your dream? Okay, I had this word printed, Traum. I can look it up, what means a dream. So I know from the context, what he's being asked, I can listen to what he's saying. Handful of words I know, then I can probably have a fairly good understanding of what he's saying in the answer. This is really awkward. Okay, great, no problem. So I cruised through the first 2 or 3 questions like that. And of course, it's not. I don't have it clarified because I can't ask a German speaker without anything. But I don't have that yet, so I can just. I'm pretty confident I got it right. But then I met my match. I was doing great. I was nailing it. I was killing it. It was beautiful. And then, watch what I found. Didn't see this coming. Where's my German word? Instead of a German word, I got a fucking palm tree. Now, I added these Photoshop Was ist das and the angry emoji and the arrow. That's mine. I put that in Photoshop. Put that in with Photoshop. Brought me to a standstill. Huh? Palm tree? What the fuck is that all about? Okay. Not to worry, though. I kept listening to Klaus's answer, and I had no idea what he was talking about. No idea what the question was. I'm like, well, fuck. Okay, now what? Huh. Luckily, though, for me, I couldn't really spend too much time with this, other than listening to him speaking his native language, which is also always very enjoyable. So I had to really move on from this, but I just kind of... Every time I watch this, that damn palm tree's coming up. I don't know what he's saying. How am I going to ever find out? You can't. Okay, fine. So, then, maybe 6 months later, I thought that was the only one that they ever did. Nope. Then I found out that Matthias had done one too. Now his Fragebogen actually had a... I don't know what exact year Klaus did his because there was no copyright stamp at the end with a date on it. But Matthias, his did have that, and it was in, I believe, 2013. And you notice his same 7 questions. His video is like a minute longer or shorter, about the same length as Klaus's. His answers were longer, I think. Anyway, so here are your auto-generated German subtitles. Okay, and again, the questions in the corner. Uh-oh, I knew that. Is that palm tree going to be coming back up? The first time I watched it, I wasn't sure. Yep, there's your palm tree, but the auto-generated subtitles, I now had the question. Now I knew what they were asking Klaus. So now the palm tree, I finally got my answer to the palm tree. And the question was, I'm now reading it. I have to turn it around to look at it and read it. Was bringt sie auf die Palme? What bring? Now, again, this is, forgive me, this is auto-generated by YouTube, so who the fuck knows how accurate it is? But according to YouTube, he's being asked, was bringt sie auf die Palme? What stresses, what worries the palm tree? And then Matthias' answer, die Kokosnuss, the coconuts. Oh, now that makes sense. That's funny. And he's grinning. He's a funny guy, right? He thinks he is funny. So, okay. What stresses, what panics the palm tree? The coconuts. That would stress me out too. Okay, that makes sense. That's Fragebogen. But it stresses me out to no end. It's not a deal breaker if I can't get auto-generated YouTube captions. But when I see them, I rejoice. Very much so. It does help out quite a bit. Okay. I'll print out. Good. Last page. Check my run time. Yep, right on time. Because I stuck to my list of questions that I wrote out. Oh yeah, a couple more examples, a couple more show and tell items. Then the first thing I did as a student, very ambitiously I might add, I found a German TV cooking show that Klaus was involved in between 2014 and 2015, somewhere in there. So Lafer, Lichter, Lecker. Those are the names of the two. This is a famous German TV cooking show. ran for like 20 years, and the German network was ZDF. I don't know what that stands for. It was an hour long, and they had, the two chefs were Johann Lafer and Horst Lichter, and Lecker is the German one for delicious. Lafer, Lichter, Lecker. Did it? Clever, clever, clever pun on words. I liked it immediately. So Klaus was working with Johann Lafer on one side of the long table, just like American cooking shows. On the other side of the long table was Horst Lichter and a German actress named Tina Ruland. Don't know who she is. Don't really care. I had Klaus. I'm happy. So they were preparing a meal between the four of them. And then the two German celebrities are not professional chefs, obviously. So the two actual chefs are guiding them, and Klaus and Johann Lafer were making, I think, some kind of dessert. Looked pretty delicious. I don't know what it was, but then Horst Lichter and Tina Ruland were making Spargel, which is white asparagus, and some other actual dinner stuff. And then they had a table out in the audience, and they had a group of a family, two sisters and like a daughter and the daughter's friend, like 4 people that had won some kind of contest to be a part of this show. They had aprons on that said Gewinner, meaning they won something. They won the contest. I saw something in writing, Gewinner, looked it up on YouTube or on my translator. The winner. Okay, cool. I don't know what the nature of the contest was, but anyway. But I listened to, and it was an hour long, like I said. So I just started listening, and they did have, it does have to this day, all YouTube generated captions. But at this point, I was only maybe less than 6 months into my German learning journey. I don't know why I didn't last very long with it, let's put it that way. I really, my eyes, whoa, this is way too much. So I lasted maybe, I was curious. I watched it maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I had to tap out at that point. It was too much. But I knew it was there, and I was really intrigued by it, so I kept going back to it. The more lessons I took on Duolingo and my outside research, the better I got with the language and the listening part and all that. It was also my first exposure to the native speech patterns of native level German. Yeah, a lot of scary things hitting me all at once. But then I kept going back to it periodically, and I could listen a little bit more. Once I got used to like I was telling you earlier, the rhythm of the language and the way it sounds. Everybody sounds that fast at first. If it's a new language to you, it's going to sound fast. Once you get used to it, and this is a German speech for TV, so it's a little faster than normal. Once I got used to that part of it, then I came back to Lafer, Lichter, Lecker. I gave it a little more time. I got a little bit farther along with it each time. And then I started listening for words that I do understand. I turned off the subtitles. I just started listening. What are the words that I understand in all this? And the more I watched it doing that, I found more and more words. And every time I heard a word that I knew, I got excited. Yay! And so one of the last few times I watched it recently, now I'm able to watch it the whole way through. Still don't really understand 95% of what they're saying, but it's fun. Now I'm able to find certain scenes in it that really I understand better than I did the first 5 times I watched it. And one of those times is, at some point during the cooking, Klaus's cooking part, he walks away from the big counter and goes to the back of the set. That's where they have the sink and all the prep stuff. And he comes back and he's got a couple of foil packets in his hand. And he's showing them to the two chefs, Lafer and Lichter. He's showing it to them and he's saying, these are dehydrated scorpions that Rudolf Schenker, the lead guitar player and founding member of the band, he'd gone to Thailand and brought these dehydrated scorpions back in foil packets, and they were dehydrated and kind of crushed. And the idea was you were supposed to crumble them up and use them as spice for your food. And this is common in Thailand. They use a lot of dead insects, for lack of a better word. As an American, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. that in Thailand is very commonplace in their culture. So he was presenting them, and you go back and watch it. I'll link below. If you go back and watch it, you'll see, ugh, Johann Lafer opens it up and he's pours it out into a plate and he dumps it out. And he's like, ugh. You see his face like, ugh. And the both of them are, that's kind of weird. And so then they take it across the way to the governor table, and they're showing it to them. They're like, ooh, no, I can't do it. And none of them wanted to try it. Now, the idea was, I should have mentioned this before, that once the meal was finished, dessert and entree, they took the completed meals over to the governor table for them to eat, and then the cast members ate on stage on a table of their own, just like any other American cooking show. Same setup and everything. There were no takers on the dehydrated scorpions. And Klaus was just beaming. He's happy. He did good. He was so proud of himself, and he should have been. I thought it was very clever, actually. And I would have tried it. Yeah, nobody on stage was brave enough, but I would have done it. Hey. Okay, then that's Lafer, Lichter, Lecker. Then Forever and a Day. Now, this is wait a minute. This is the Scorpions, one of their 2015 tour, not a tour documentary. Yes, they're allegedly the farewell tour. That's the way it was intended. But during the course of this video, you see that it talks about it as being their farewell tour. It's almost 2 years long. And a camera crew followed them around, filming them for 18 months. And then they edited it, put it together in editing, and then this video came out in 2015. Now, when I first found it on scorpions.com, it was only available in German. It was a one-day limited release in German theaters. And then after that, it was available on DVD, but only in German through German online outlets. I found that on the Scorpions website. I was like, well, fuck, now what am I supposed to do? Why would they not make this available to all the fans? I didn't really understand it. But, so I just had to sit on it, and there was a full webpage devoted to it. And then it gave all the links for Amazon.de in Germany, Amazon websites all over the world, except for the USA. There was only one they didn't have it in. I was like, well, fuck, okay, I'm out of luck then. And it was kind of disheartening that they would do that, but what can I do? So I waited, and then kind of gave up on it. And then maybe about a year ago now, almost a year ago, I went on Amazon.com in the US looking for something else, and I found it. Amazon.com USA. USA. That's how they say it in German, USA. You know what that means? English. Naturally, I ordered it very, very quickly, yes. So now I have it. It's mine, yes. And there's really nothing to it. It's just a DVD. There's no insert or anything. But I watched it. And I thought, well, it's probably going to be in German. Hey, by that point, I was well into my lessons, and I'm good at this. Better at this now than I was when I started, so it didn't really even bother me that much. It's about an hour and a half long. Not quite 2 hours. But then I watched it in English captions. Yay! I was a happy fangirl that day. I know, yes. I almost didn't watch it. I was almost like, well, I don't speak German. It's going to be all in German. But luckily I watched it. And then got the happy surprise. Yay! There's that. And then, okay, this is the last. There's no more show and tell. That was the last one. So now, I also listen to, if they do sing songs in English, no matter where they're touring in the world, even in Germany, but if they're in German cities, Klaus will do German dialogue he talks to the crowd in German between songs, obviously. So I like to listen to stuff like that. Whether or not there's English or German subtitles on YouTube, doesn't bother me anymore. I just listen. And then I have a lot of fun things, a lot of my top 5 favorite moments of that too. And that's it. That was the end of the video. That's my last note. Okay, we're doing 50 minutes. Looking at the timer on my QuickTime player window. Cool, okay. Alright, so that's where I'm at now. It's how my journey got started. That's where it's at now. And I'm not ready to paying tutoring yet. Because as soon as I do that, then that means the level of involvement and investment. That means that my level of investment has gone up. And just for me being at home as a Scorpions fan in the privacy of my own apartment, watching stuff on YouTube, it's not necessary for me to do anything more than that. But the only scenario that I could consider ratcheting up to a paying, like escalating the learning curve for myself and becoming more intense with it, would be if I got a job in Germany and I had to go there, and it depends on, now I need it to survive on a day-to-day basis and make a life for myself over there, then I would do it. Because what I've learned about the lifestyle is there are certain parts of Germany that are more American English-speaking friendly than other ones. Like Berlin has a lot of English-speaking. So you're not necessarily out of the race if you can't speak German and you move over there, but I'm not. That's not even a consideration right now. I have no way to make that happen on my own, so that's the only way that I would consider paying for tutoring, or, like I said, ramping up my learning program above and beyond what it is now. Thought about it, but we'll see what the future holds. But it's kind of open-ended right now. I'm just continuing to do what I do. My funny reels and YouTube videos, and I'm waiting for the 4th Scorpions German song. They can't tell me they haven't done it already. Done it 3 times now. Yeah, in 75 with the two, there was under the name The Hunters. That was the idea of their German producer Dieter Dirks. That was their 2nd album in English at the time. They did this thing on the side. I don't know why they did it. I should know that, but anyway, it's kind of the one-offs, and just maybe to see what would happen, if would it sell really well, or I don't know. Whatever reason they did it, Du bist so schmutzig was on Eye to Eye, and that one was the commercially released. All of their songs are in English, except for that one. And a final note on Eye to Eye, I heard Du bist so schmutzig, my favorite, and then To Be Number One was the other one that I'd heard. They posted a link on their Facebook page. It was a YouTube video. After I heard my 2 favorites, I almost just gave up. I didn't really care about the songs in between. But then I got to the last one. I was like, well, just one more song. Okay, I can do it. And the last song, A Moment in a Million Years. Oh, the ballad. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. No guitars, no drums, no bass. Well, no electric bass. There is what we call a stand-up bass, a cello, piano, violin, I think, and Klaus minus singing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. I almost missed it. I'm glad I stuck with it. So on that note, let me go. No pun intended. Let me go upload this, and from this point on, I'll be doing freestyle topic videos, just whatever my mood of the day is. Plan them out the same way as I do all the other ones, but who knows where we'll go next in our discussions. We'll see. Hope you come back and join me, and thank you for sticking with me this long. And I will see you guys later. Tschüss. That's how Germans say goodbye.